You are listening to Bantha Tracks.
It's time to spin round the rim. This is Desert Planet Discs. Star Wars music in a single file. Here are your hosts, Carl Bayless and Greg Robertson.
Welcome to Desert Planet Discs track 14, kicking off as always, we had the fanfare from James Semple. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And once again, thanks very much to Mark Daniels and Vanessa Marshall for the voiceovers throughout the show. Very much appreciated. Hope everyone's doing all right out there. And kicking off musically this week, we had the Star Wars main theme by the Trotter Trio. You can find those guys on Spotify. Go on there, dream to your heart's content, download, whatever you can do. Go and support them. Greg here, but I'm joined, as always, by my partner in crime. He's just out of Strange Ways. It's Carl Mooncat Bayless. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, not too bad. Not too bad. And yourself?
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. The weather's starting to turn. It's no longer like Mustafar here. It's just, it's decent weather.
It's gone a bit chilly here, but let's give it its official Star Wars weather app rating.
Oh.
Well,
this is the part that people tune in for every week. It
is. This is your Star Wars weather report. 13 degrees currently, which according to the official Star Wars app, feels like Alderaan.
Yeah. A bit rocky and dusty.
Yeah. I'm guessing that feels like Alderaan before it was hit by the Death Star when it got very hot.
There's not much atmosphere there now.
Yes.
So what's been happening with you, sir? What have you been up to since the last episode?
Oh, well, one of the big things that happened we will go into a little bit later, but yes, Fantha Tracks hit the road and we're actually out at an event, the spectacular Echo Live, which we will talk a little bit more about a bit later on. I had a bit of a sort through the collection boxes, which still haven't been unpacked since we moved months ago. So had a bit of a reorder of some of that and repack some of that into different boxes. As I found out when I tried to catalogue it all late last year, there was figures in about 5 different boxes and Lego in about 5 different boxes. So I just consolidated everything into slightly more themed boxes and trimmed it a little. And I think possibly the most exciting things, there are 2 exciting things that happened actually. Whilst at Echo Live, I acquired a new mascot.
Oh.
Yes, official Desert Planet Discs mascot, DJ Rex Black Series.
Nice, very nice.
Yes, for a rather bargain price. So, it was about the only thing I faltered on for the day. I was being very good, but more of that later. And then possibly the most exciting thing, and I know you can share in this now, picked up our first batch of Desert Planet Discs merch.
Yes. Thank you very much for sending that up. I got a lovely package this morning with Mandalorian style text on the box. And then ripped that open and yes, Desert Planet Disc merchandise.
Yes. This lot didn't arrive in jigsaw style like the mug. Don't talk about jigsaws. I am sitting looking at a 500-piece Golden Girls jigsaw puzzle that I've lovely.
And it's Mission Impossible.
I think you shared an image of that just after your recent birthday. So of course that's presumably one of the big events that's happened since we last spoke for you.
Yes, my birthday, had a surprise party at the house with some friends and family. I had the week before that, we were an early celebration, or I guess a late celebration of my wife's 40th. It was her birthday last year. And we had a little bit night out, and we had a visit from the Martin Keeler and Emma Keeler.
Indeed.
So that was great catching up with them. And it was great birthday. Just trying to think if I got anything Star Warsy for my birthday. Golden Girls jigsaw puzzle, not very Star Warsy, although B. Arthur, holiday special. Aye, my brain's gone dead. I can't actually think. But I've got some stuff coming from America. I had got some birthday money and I ordered another few shirts from the Roosevelts. In fact, I don't think one of them, I was thinking one of them was Star Wars, but they're not, I don't think. Napoleon Dynamite.
Nice.
Jurassic Park and The other one might be Star Wars. I can't actually remember now. Is that? I might have had a few drinks when I ordered.
The perils of late night shopping on the internet.
Yeah. But obviously, since we last spoke, we've also had the season finale of The Bad Batch.
Yes.
So looking back at The Bad Batch, what did you make of season 1 as a whole?
Season 1 as a whole, I really enjoyed. I think, considering from when we got the first teaser pictures and everybody went, oh no, we've got another annoying kid, aka Ahsoka from the Clone Wars movie, or Ezra when Rebels first debuted. But the growth curve, if you like, from potentially annoying kid to actually really cool character and endearing herself to everybody, to the point that everybody now, she's probably everybody's second favourite animated character after Ahsoka.
Yeah, I guess that was the big surprise of the series overall. Was, as you say, you see the images beforehand, you kind of expect another snips, that kind of stuff, right from the get-go. I mean, the character building for Omega has been fantastic. Yeah, definitely the strong character and the strong character arc in that first season was definitely Omega. But overall, the series was fantastic. Music throughout was brilliant. Beautiful job by Kevin Kiner. The animation was amazing. A couple of episodes in there I wasn't overly keen on, just because I didn't feel it kept the story going throughout. And I think if the last 2 episodes have been done as a longer episode, like the first episode, that worked better. I think probably built it up too much in my mind. Something big's going to happen at the end of this. Yeah, and it kind of didn't go there. And then we got the kind of fade to black. I was like, oh, is that it? And then obviously you had the follow-up scene with Mount Tantis, which was a nice kind of tease for the future. So I'm very excited for season 2. I'm glad there is a season 2. I would have been gutted if they'd left it at 1. There's so much they can tell in this story. So I'm kind of hoping it goes for years and years to come.
Yeah, I think as we said probably in the last episode, the finale was slightly tainted by the fact that we already knew season 2 was coming. And I agree with you about the split episode. It was kind of all the action and the real breakneck, are they going to get out of this okay, section was the first half of the finale, if you like. And then the second half, apart from a couple of little plot twists, the bit about Crosshair having removed his chip weeks, months, however long before, I think that was a bit of an unexpected twist, although we've touched on previously, we thought they were going to go down the route of his chip was possibly damaged and he was going to be not as driven by the chip as perhaps we once thought. But other than that, the big takeout, I guess, from it all was that Omega is actually older than the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
So, again, what we don't really know from that is that because of the level of growth acceleration that the regular Bad Batch type clones have had, or has there indeed been some sort of growth inhibitor put into Omega and she is aging at a lesser rate than normal? Yeah. But yeah, definitely really looking forward to season 2.
Any hopes for what you're hoping for? Any character introductions, or where would you like the story to go season 2?
I know with the whole thing around that era, you've obviously got sort of Rebellion, so you've still got Maul about, so he could come into it. You've got obviously with the cutscene at the end, the possibility that you could then introduce Thrawn, which would then again tie in slightly, if we're to believe the rumours and the way that Mandalorian sort of pointed us that the Ahsoka show is going to hook Thrawn in as well.
Yeah, very true.
So, you wonder whether all these little strands are being sort of fed out there in a very classic Filoni way of here's a little thread of this, here's a little thread of this, and then we'll tie it all together and boom, there you go.
Yeah, lots of nice little tie-ins to all the different shows that are in production, and maybe 5-10 years down the line, the Kevin Feige movie will be some big explosive thing that ties all these shows together and all these kind of little tidbits we've been given in all these animated live-action shows.
Yeah, and of course we're completely missing out there. The big fan theory or fan wish that in Book of Boba Fett we actually get to see real live action Omega.
Yeah, well, the latest rumours is that Cad Bane's going to be in the Book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Which would be so cool to see him in live action. I think that would be great if they can get the look right. That'll be immense. But they've done a great job with what I've seen of Hondo at Batuu in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They did a good job of bringing him, even though it's sort of animated puppety version of him. I think they've done a great job of that. And if they can obviously get somebody or motion capture, however they do it for Cad Bane, it'll be great. Yeah,
I would think something like that. You're probably looking along those sort of dots on the face with the head cam.
Yeah, he's such a skinny character, isn't he? You could get somebody like, I guess, like Doug Jones, who does like Saru and things like that. Yeah. He'd be quite a good shout for the body of the character, but you want to get the voice right.
Yeah, definitely.
You stick with your animation voice. I can't think who does it. Is it Cody Burton?
It's a very good question.
Yeah, my brain's gone.
if only we thought to put that in the show notes.
So yeah, season 2. Hopefully next year. Next year's going to be a heck of a year for Star Wars with Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Andor, Bad Batch season 2.
Celebration,
maybe Mandalorian season 3 towards the end of the year, Book of Boba at the start of the year, tail end of this year, start of next.
Yeah, I think we said at the tail end of last year, this year for Disney Plus has really been more about Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like putting the groundwork in for phase 4 of the MCU. And Star Wars, although we've still got new content, be it in the form of Bad Batch and stuff like that, or the new old content, droids and Ewoks and those sort of things coming to the platform. I think next year will be a bit of a flip, and we'll see a lot more coming from the Star Wars channel on Disney Plus, and Marvel will go back to being more of a cinematic property, although I think they've learned that the two are now not mutually exclusive, and I think you can interlink the two very nicely. Lawsuits aside, just make sure you sort out your actors' contracts before you go for a dual release.
For everything in one location, daily news, reviews, interviews, podcasts, video and social media feeds, bookmark banthatracks.com for Star Wars news 24/7, 365.
You mentioned that obviously one of your predictions for season 2 was perhaps the return of a certain Darth Maul.
Yes.
Who famously in Rebels and Clone Wars was voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Who I've just been doing started a rewatch of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And Sam Witwer popped up in the last episode I was watching season 2. In a gym, bodybuilding, invited to a party. Anyway, I digress. Yes, Maul, obviously the voice of Maul being Sam Witwer. And for those of you who may not know, Sam Witwer is a man of many talents. Obviously acting, voice acting, king of the smolder. He's even taught me smoldering when I bumped into him in Celebration in London. But he also had a music career and had 2 albums out with a band called Crashtones, where he was the lead singer for the group. So we thought we should play some of the Crashtones on the show, because we're not all just about Star Wars theme songs. We're about music brought to you by Star Wars actors or music influenced by Star Wars. So This one fits the bill perfectly. This is Arson by the Crashtones. You can find the Crashtones on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, all good downloadable sites, all streaming services, and check them out on YouTube as well. This is Arson by the Crashtones. Enjoy.
Crashtones there from their album Revenge of the Crashtones, featuring the multi-talented Sam Whipper on lead vocals, and that song was called Arson. Don't think it's related to former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, but who knows? Not sure whether they're gooners, but there we go. And moving swiftly on, we were also talking earlier about new Star Wars content that's come to Disney Plus this year, and one of the big things that's hit recently is the Disney Plus gallery making of the season 2 Mandalorian finale. I think a lot of people were gutted when the original Disney gallery for Mando season 2 aired, and there was no real mention of the whole appearance of one Luke Skywalker, and it turns out that's because they'd all along been planning a bumper special just about that episode. obviously had a chance to check that out. Greg, what did you make of it?
It was bloody brilliant, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was indeed very special. I mean, you know my love for Favreau and Filoni. I mean, Dave Filoni is the man. Jon Favreau is just a legend. Just love his work, from acting, writing, directing, producing. He's just, talented man, and just seeing the care and attention and the love they put into The Mandalorian, and especially this finale, and the lengths they went to keep Luke Skywalker's appearance secret from everybody, down to having like a clue.
Oh God, that's just mental. How many TV shows do you know, if they were filming something like that, would go to the lengths of creating the mask and everything? You're going, oh yeah, we're just going to do this with CGI. Look, here comes Plo Koon.
That and the fake artwork and stuff they did.
Yeah,
it's like unbelievable.
They touched on in the show as well, managing to keep something like that secret, even after it had been filmed for real, in this day and age, is bonkers.
It's crazy. I mean, the amount of people that leak stuff online.
Yeah, and
every day.
Everything that was rumoured that came to fruition. Oh, we're going to see Boba Fett in this series. Yeah, we did. Oh, we're going to see Ahsoka. Yeah, and all those things leaked through, and I think they said usually through the unlikeliest of sources. So I think the Tam Morrison thing leaked through IMDb or his agent or something, posting that he was featuring in The Mandalorian season 2, and everybody went, he's going to be Boba Fett. I don't even think it said who he was going to be. So obviously you'd got was he going to appear as any number of leftover clones, or was he going to actually be back as Boba Fett? And lo and behold, there he was. Rosario Dawson, again, that was fairly common knowledge from early on, and I do wonder sometimes whether some of these things, although they go, oh, that's leaked, are they almost semi-intentionally leaked? Especially with something like Ahsoka. Ahsoka is a much loved character.
Yeah,
and Ashley Eckstein is, or up to that point, is what everybody expects of Ahsoka. So you've got to deal with Ahsoka in live action, being played by a different actress and not revoiced by Ashley. So that's a pretty big wall of fan backlash that you could be incurring on yourself. So for something like that to dribble out onto the internet and go, oh look, Rosario Dawson's going to be playing Ahsoka, step away from it, let it fester and become rumour. Yes, you're still going to get people who go, no, you can't possibly do that because Ahsoka is Ashley or Ashley is Ahsoka. But you've also got people who, over time, will sort of go, well, yeah, it's live action. You then see the people who go to town on Photoshop and everything and mock Rosario up as, and you kind of become more comfortable with the idea. So by the time it hits, you haven't got the shock factor of, oh my God, Ahsoka's on the screen. It's not Ashley. Oh, I hate this. It's like, okay, Ahsoka's on screen. It's not going to be Ashley Eckstein. Let's enjoy the story.
It's also, I guess, these things come out, but other stuff doesn't come out. But is it? Yeah. Is that almost like diversion tactics as well?
That's
to like keep the bigger things secret. I mean, obviously, before season one came out, nobody had a clue about Baby Yoda before. Yep. Obviously the first episode dropped. Yeah. And then it was like, boom, Baby Yoda. Obviously, all the retailers knew about it. All the toy manufacturers and stuff had but obviously had nothing ready for release at that point because it was such a secret.
Yeah.
Same here with Hamill back, and then just seeing Hamill wearing the Jedi look robes from the end of Return of the Jedi, or from Return of the Jedi, in his garden with Grogu puppet. I was like, oh my word.
That was just bizarre. And I think I actually got more sort of goosebumps from that than I did when I first actually saw the episode and just went, no, it's not going to be Luke, is it? It's not going to be Luke. It is going to be Luke. Look, it's the glove, it's the belt, it's the boots. It's going to be Luke. Oh, it's Luke. Okay, they've done that quite nicely. I like how they've done it. But I wasn't at the extreme of sort of bursting into tears, but I actually got a bit more emotional seeing that stuff of him in the garden and also the actual footage of him on set.
Yeah. It was great just getting the ins and outs of how they did it with, I mean, I had no clue watching it that it wasn't Hamill doing the voice.
Yeah.
It was all pieced together from historical or, using software, using historical recordings from that time period. It's like, wow. Yeah. And it was also good to see that they looked at every potential option of how to do it, deep fake, de-aging, and going down the way they did. Obviously, as we mentioned in the last show, they've now hired the deep fake guy that did the Luke Skywalker work over the top of that footage. So this makes you wonder, where is it going? Where are we going to see more Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian, or a Luke Skywalker and Grogu series? And
you do wonder whether, yes, there's obviously got to be sufficient, but if he's been hired by Lucasfilm as opposed to hired by Disney, as they touched on in that episode, you've had de-aged Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer in Ant-Man, various things like that, de-aged Robert Downey Jr. and things like that.
Jackson,
so you kind of go, well, okay, you've gone down that route. So if this guy's been hired more by Lucasfilm than Disney, there's clearly got to be some de-aging that they need doing in some of these upcoming live action series. Now, obviously, where we think Obi-Wan is pitched time-wise, Ewan is around about the right age.
Yeah, absolutely.
To play him in inverted commas, modern day.
Yeah.
So at the time, but if there are flashback sequences and things like that, I mean, to be fair, they've confirmed now Hayden's part of it. Hayden looks better now than I think he did in F3.
I was going to say, if they're going to, have Ewan McGregor playing a younger version of Obi-Wan when he is in the show, he could probably play it anyway, because he doesn't look like he ages that much anyway, does he?
No, shave the beard off or trim it back a bit, and there you go. Are there elements of that technology, de-aging type stuff coming into play in things like Obi-Wan or some of the other series? We keep forgetting that there's a Lando series coming somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
and there's definitely some de-aging in Indiana Jones, the new indie film, because he was filmed in Yorkshire with spots on his face.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to happen for that. So
So again, it's that they're clearly, there's work in Lucasfilm properties for people with skills in that area. So fingers crossed, it all comes to be.
Absolutely. One of the other takeaways from the Mandalorian finale gallery was Dave Filoni without his hat.
Yeah, without any hat.
Without any hat on, yeah. No helmet, no X-Wing pilot helmet, no cowboy hat.
There were a couple of shots of him on set with a baseball cap on.
Yeah.
So he's clearly going off-brand as well. Now, obviously, the way for Dave Filoni to not get recognised is to actually not wear a cowboy hat.
Yeah. That's his tip for Celebration next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, as Jon Favreau was saying, you get to the point with the deepfake and de-aging technology where it's so close to the real thing, or could be so close to the real thing, that you don't know whether you're actually seeing the person or a deep faked recreation, or Was that an interview with John Favreau, or was that a whole different? Was it Dave Filoni? Was it Mark Hamill? Was it any of them?
Quite scary, actually, when you think about it. Where the technology's going, not just obviously visually, but also the audio technology to. You could have all sorts of. If you in the wrong hands, somebody could have some proper fun. Great technology for TV and film. Maybe not so good technology
for the internet. Yes. And of course, it's not just Star Wars fans that have recognised The Mandalorian for its merits. It's recently been announced as the winner of the Best Streaming Show Drama at the Hollywood Critics Association, beating several household names, if you like, in series, The Crown and Handmaid's Tale. So Star Wars finally starting to pick up gongs for live action stuff. We've often seen animation pick up things and scores pick up nominations and Oscars, but at last we're starting to see recognition for the live action properties. So long may it continue, and well deserved. And thank you from all of us here. Congratulations, well done, and keep up the good work.
Hey, this is Royish Goodlooks, and you're listening to Desert Planet Discs.
So one of the joys of presenting this show is finding new music and new artists to bring to the table, to bring to the sabacc table. Greg and I had a bit of I would say competition, but a bit of an exploration of several streaming sites, and found a few new acts. So we're going to be featuring a few of those in this evening's show. And the first of those is a band or an artist by the name of Bespin Moons, and they've got an album which came out in 2020 called A Binding Force, which we found on Bandcamp. And this is a nice track. I think there's about 8 or 9 tracks on the album, and this is a lovely little piece called Cloud City Incinerator.
It's getting worse all the time.
That was Cloud City Incinerator by the Bespin Moons. Check them out on Bandcamp. Go and download the album. Follow them so you get any forthcoming release news and all that good stuff. So, since we last spoke as well, there's been a few Lego announcements, one of which is a new Lego Halloween special coming to Disney Plus in October. But we also finally got a Lego Skywalker Saga gameplay trailer. Yay! And a new release date of spring 2022.
Yes.
Which is over, what is it, 2 years? I think was it meant to come out in 2020? Start 2020? Or was it the end of 2020?
I think originally it was sort of trailed. It was like Christmas 2019. Obviously, like most things, release was slightly affected by the pandemic. And one of the official quotes on the original delay, they came back and said they weren't 100% happy with everything and they wanted to make this the ultimate playing experience for a Lego game and for a Star Wars Lego game. I'm a big fan of the Lego Star Wars games.
They are stunning. And I have to say, watching this trailer, I wasn't overly excited to start with about the game, but watching this gameplay trailer, I was just like,
yeah.
Seeing like the Praetorian Guards and like all the stuff from the sequels in there and classic original trilogy and prequels, and just it looks like it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
We might even get a Lego Zuvio in there again.
Yay.
Oh, please, the Keeler.
Indeed. And as well, you've got as well as the gameplay trailers that we saw, you've got different kind of modes. So you've got the story mode where I guess you're probably playing as different characters, which is fairly much in line with the original games.
Yeah.
So depending on which part of the story you're at, you're playing as a different character that's lead in that. But then once you've completed a level, you get the option to go back and play as whatever character you like. And I think the press release said there's something like over 300 different minifigure characters that you can actually. And I'm guessing that you'll also have the customization route, which has been a feature of the previous games as well.
Yeah,
where you can take sort of elements of each character and create your own. But I was just wondering how, considering how much some of the rarer Lego minifigs go for, 300 Lego minifigs doesn't sound like a lot, but it'd set you back a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean,
so
looking at some of the Clone Wars Lego sets and even the Rebels Lego sets, just some of the characters from those sets, sell for a lot of money. For a little tiny wee piece of plastic, it's crazy.
Yeah. Now that brings me on to a question that I'm although it's officially the Skywalker Saga, do we think there'll be hidden bonus levels?
For the likes of Solo and Rogue One,
Solo, maybe Rebels,
Clone Wars,
yeah. Or if you do certain, the Lego games are all about the hidden unlocks.
Yeah.
And I know they've said you can unlock obviously the characters. You also unlock various planets as you complete levels, so you can go back and play different planets, and there's also some starship-based levels as well. So yeah, but I wonder whether there might be a few little Easter egg levels of play a little bit of Clone Wars as Ahsoka or something like that.
That would be cool.
That would be very nice. Very nice.
I don't think we're going to get that, but that would be very cool, especially get some Mandalorian in there as well.
Yeah.
But I think they'll stick to the 9 films. Well, who knows? That'll be very cool if they do that. That'll be very good.
Yeah.
Because I can't see them doing standalone Lego Star Wars games for those properties.
No. Well, although I could see a Lego Mandalorian game.
Yeah.
Once you've perhaps got season 3, and they've got this game out, who knows? It may already be in development.
Yeah, absolutely.
But very much like the Lego Clone Wars game, sort of mirrored the series with its levels. You've effectively, you could almost say you've got, with the 16 episodes, you've got 16 levels of a game. So, smack that into another, and I'm not belittling the work that goes into these in any shape or form, because they are, meticulously put together. But I think that could be a big seller.
Oh, absolutely! I think that would do great. Absolutely, especially when season 3 comes out, and you've got another episodes to throw into the mix, and
24, 25 level game.
Featuring fighting the Mudhorn and stuff, and things like that would be cool. Yeah.
There's so many of those sort of confrontations and things as well in the show. Bizarre. It would be quite bizarre. You think the Sandcrawler encounter is actually based on a level on the the old Nintendo Star Wars.
Yeah,
so then you'd bring that back into a video game based on it having featured in a TV series. But all of those episodes really, really lend themselves to being gamified, and I do think that the Lego games really strike the right chord with fans young and old, because the kids obviously enjoy Lego and the humour they just find as funny. As us older gamers like the fact that the games are relatively easy, and you don't get shot after 2 minutes or 20 seconds. I think that's my record in Battlefront. 20 seconds. Oh, yes. You've just been shot by whoever.
6-year-old Ben.
That's it. But the humour, some of it will go above the head of some of the younger players, but one of my favourite things in some of the Lego stuff is the Darth Sidious Emperor thing, where he puts his hood up and they go, "Oh, it's a Sith Lord! Oh no, it's the Chancellor! Oh, it's a Sith Lord!" It's like, yes.
Imagine a Mandalorian game, season 2 levels, and you're on a planet. Grogu's sitting on a meditating stone, trying to speak to a Jedi, and in comes Boba Fett's starship.
Yes, yes. But what is that starship called?
It's now formerly known as Slave One.
Yes, yes. So yes, our good friends at Lego really sort of started what I think we can call is a Star Wars fan brickstorm. Yeah, I think well and truly set up by Lucasfilm and Disney there have just announced this new Lego kit, please. So they've borne the brunt of the backlash of the, I don't know whether it's renaming or politically correcticizing of Boba's starship, and Jango's starship.
Indeed.
The ship, as we say, formerly known as Slave One. Now, according to the Lego kit, Boba Fett's starship. Obviously, it's a Firespray class ship.
Yes.
So there's another option for you, but I think for many fans, especially those of a certain vintage, it has always been and will forever remain Slave One.
Absolutely. It's always going to be Slave One to me. This is the way Slave Leia will still always be Slave Leia.
Yes.
Another bit of merchandise that's now disappeared off shelves and unlikely to resurface. But I believe the War of the Bounty Hunters comic has got it called Firespray on the cover of one of the issues of that. I believe last check it is still listed as Slave One on StarWars.com, but it does sound like they're trying to sweep the Slave One name under the carpet.
Yes. Which, on the one hand, you look at things and you go, okay, you've got Luke's X-Wing, which is, a factual statement of what it is. But then you've got other ships, such as the Millennium Falcon. That's a YT 1300.
Yeah, Carillion. Yeah.
Yes. So it...
Will we rename the Millennium Falcon at some point because it upsets millennials?
Who knows?
Or Falcons?
Or Falcons. or Millennial Falcons.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah. Wait till they can get on an internet message board and start to object. But yeah, it's... I mean, at the end of the day, it's a firestorm in a teacup.
Yeah. A fire
spray storm in a teacup. The ship is the ship, and whatever you want to call it, you're going to call it. Personally, I kind of subscribe to the whole way of thinking of the best way to learn from history is to know about it and work out what's good and bad and not repeat it.
Yes.
So, from
put it, sir.
Yes, from that point of view, I know slavery was bad.
Absolutely.
And I have learnt about it at school and through years of life experience, and I know that that was bad. Therefore, should I ever be in the position to make a decision that would either re-enable or not re-enable slavery, I would be going down the not re-enabling slavery route.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think, to some degree, the whole we need to eradicate mentions of it because it was bad. How do you then know it was bad if you never know it existed?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Indeed.
Welcome to the Politics Show, brought to you by Bantha Tracks.
Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly on.
We're going to go back on to play some more music. This is a song about battle station called the Death Star. That's what it's called at the moment. That might change some point down the line.
It might. It might be called the Emperor's Destruction Ball.
Yeah.
Or Big Space Station. Empire's Big Space Station.
The Empire's That's No Moon.
Yes.
So this song is called Death Star, and this is by Colin's Godson.
My spacecraft is in bad shape. My sat-nav maps were out of date. Didn't see the asteroid belt. No warp core drive, no booster jets. The tape player reads up my cassettes. The oxygen supply has failed. I'm going to die soon. My only hope's that small moon, but that's no moon. It's the Death Star. There's no moon. It's the Death Star. I was bold and took the first step. Both Siths have quite a bad rep, but they welcomed me in like a friend. They fixed me up and gave me tea. I ate fish fingers without feet. I set up on my journey again. I'm going home soon. I thank God for that small moon, but there's no moon. It's the Death Star. There's no moon, it's the Death Star. The moral of the stanza, don't believe the propaganda. What the papers tell you isn't always true. The evil empire may do bad things, but here's the really sad thing. It's individuals, they're just like me and you. My home planet is in ruins. That small moon, but there's no moon. It's the Death Star. 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 There's no moon. It's the Death Star.
Clear Bay 327. We're opening the magnetic field.
That was Colin's Godson, now sadly defunct band from Bonnie, Scotland. But yeah, that's from their Colin's Godson in Space album, which you can still get on Bandcamp. So, Also, keeping on the theme of things coming to Disney Plus, despite having said at the start of the show it was a quiet year for Star Wars, we're just going through the show notes, and there's actually quite a lot coming this year. Shows what we know. We should read our show notes before we start. Yes, just around the corner.
This month, isn't it?
Yes. By the time this airs, it will be later this month. We will be getting towards the end of September Star Wars Visions, the Japanese animation project. I think is the nicest way to describe it, because it's a collection of animated. I guess they're shorts.
Anime. Each episode's 10 to 15 minutes in length, I believe, and there's eight episodes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they drop them all in one go, or if they drip feed us. I imagine because of the length of the episodes, there'll be a drop in one go, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
That's my theory. Yeah, they'll be dropped all at once, which will be very unlike Disney Plus, especially for Star Wars and Marvel properties. I mean, they do drop likes of Bluey. Yeah. You don't get an episode of Bluey a week. You get 20 odd episodes dropped at one go. But
What If's been dropping an episode a week, but they're slightly longer episodes, aren't they?
Yeah, they're about 30 to 40 minutes in length.
So,
but I think because of the length of these episodes, I think they will be dropped all in one go, or maybe 2 episodes a week.
You might get
20 minutes, half an hour worth.
Yeah.
What did you make of the trailer?
The more I see about this show, the more I'm just intrigued and really excited for it.
Absolutely. I think from the get-go for this, I was really excited when they announced that big raft of 8 or 9 TV series, and just showing that logo. They just flashed up the logo for Visions, and in the wording you could see some of the art, and you could just tell from that it was very samurai influenced, which obviously ties back to Lucas and his love of Kurosawa and the influence that had, the Hidden Fortress and things that those movies had on him, and the characters and the stories for Star Wars. I mean, 2 characters in Hidden Fortress picked out for basically R2-D2 and C-3PO, the same sort of relationship between the two of them. Huge fan of Kurosawa myself, and samurai movies like the Lone Wolf and Cub series, which is very much influenced Mandalorian with Baby Grogu and Zatoichi, films like that. So incredibly excited for this, especially the sort of samurai Ronin episodes like The Duel, which looks like that's going to be the big kind of very Japanese samurai influenced episode or short. But there's so much different styles of anime in that one trailer.
Yeah.
You've got like your furry character, is that how you would call it? You kind of like animal human hybrid, and then there's like an Astro Boy style looking robot-y character, and there's an episode called Tatooine Rhapsody, which looks like it's going to be some sort of rock opera, but it's going to have Boba Fett and Jabba and pod racing by the looks of it from the trailer.
I think, as you've touched on there, the fact that they're all very different styles, again, from the trailer, they all appear to be very different styles, which, is why they've put the project out to these various animation houses. Mm-hmm. It just all looks wonderful. And just the animation itself is just absolutely beautiful. And I think there will be something, you may not like all of them, but I think you will be hard pushed if you watch all of them to not find a couple that really hit home for you.
Yeah, I think there's going to be something for everyone in there. And obviously all these, I don't know a huge amount about anime. It's not my strong point, but I did watch a lot of sort of the classic manga films back in my teenage years, I guess, with the likes of Akira and the Legend of the Overfiend and the Vampire Hunter D, I want to say, and things like that. I'm not up to date with things like, I don't know, Cowboy Bebop, I would say, is an anime thing. I know it's obviously got some Star Wars alumni in there. Steve Bloom's one of the, I think, key cast for Cowboy Bebop. which is to get in a live action movie. But I was going to say that the voice cast they announced for this as well is outstanding.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people you'll be familiar with from Star Wars in the past, and some newbies. James Hong, who voiced some characters in Clone Wars and I think Rebels as well. Bobby Moynihan from Resistance. Lucy Liu, characters. David Harbour from Stranger Things. Jamie Chung. Tim Morrison back doing Boba Fett. Karen Fukuhara. Masi Oka, who's in Heroes. Christopher Sean, again, from Star Wars Resistance. Kyle Chandler. Henry Golding. I'm trying to think, what's Henry Golding in again? I think he's done some Star Wars in the past as well. Mark Thompson, who's one of the very famous audio book for Star Wars.
Yes, yeah, he's reading. I love. In fact, I'm just about to start on the audiobooks of the new Thrawn trilogy, Chaos, the Ascendancy.
Oh yeah.
And I say the first trilogy, obviously discounting the 90s original Thrawn books, but of the new era, the 3 Thrawn audio books that Mark Thompson's voiced I really, really enjoyed those.
Yeah, he always brings it to the audio, doesn't he? Always a fantastic listen with him doing the narration. So
yes.
Someone else jumped out at me, and again, another Star Wars alumni from The Last Jedi, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ooh.
Always love his work. He's always a very talented guy. So yeah, it's shaping up to be really, really good. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
If it's all released at one time, I'll definitely be binging the heck out of it and watching over and over, I think. And there's, I think you've got a book coming out as well, Star Wars Ronin, which is based on, I think, the same episode, the duel that I was talking about. So I think the character, or one of the characters is called Ronin. So that's going to be interesting. And exciting times ahead for us.
Yeah.
And speaking about exciting times, Carl, you've been out in the actual world and been to a convention.
Yes.
Tell us all about Echo Live.
Echo Live, yes. It's, for those people that aren't aware of what Echo Base Live is, it's a show that usually runs twice a year in a shopping centre in Redditch in the UK, which is just outside Birmingham. And it's essentially a toy and collectors fair. You got, as you always have at these sort of convention shows, you've got traders there who specialise in vintage Star Wars, right up to modern. A lot of people who, one of the big favourites amongst vintage collectors are the sort of display cases for the original 96 and things like that. So there's a guy who makes these gorgeous giant display cases with all the right colour-coded spaces for you to put your opened figures in for the whole of that original 96.
That is Drew from Collector Displays.
That's the gentleman, yes.
Very nice stuff. I've decided when I actually finish off my vintage collection, I will put some money down and get one of those for myself.
Yeah, they're huge, but they are stunningly beautiful. And several of the Echo forums, you regularly get people who have done exactly what you've just said, completed their original figure run, and then invest in one of these lovely display cabinets. And they are just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, you'll light up and everything. He's got all effects and stunning stuff. Should probably mention, for those of you who don't know who Echo Base are, there's a few different Facebook groups. But Echo Vintage for your vintage collecting. There's an Echo Modern, and I think Echo Valuation pages and Echo Auctions. So check them out on Facebook and follow them and hear about future news from them.
Future shows, yeah. And
who else did you see there, Carl?
So As with all conventions, there were a few Star Wars guests there. So we got the likes of Robert Watt, Julian Glover, Michael Pennington, Chris Bunn was there, and taking rather a large corner up, but deservedly so, mainly for the amount of merch he'd bought to give out to people, was Sean Crawford, aka Yakface.
Yakface, yeah.
Yes.
The elusive Yakface.
Yes.
Very expensive Yakface.
He's an absolutely lovely guy. I've met most of the other guests before at things like Empire Day and sort of various other conventions at the NEC, but I've not met Sean before. And to say he gives value for his autograph price is an understatement. I think it's about 20 quid for the autograph, so you get a signed picture and you can obviously choose an 8x10 and he'll personalise it all. But then you got a Yakface card back recreation, and then he's got a sticker that you put over the sort of exclusive Yakface thing, and it says "I've met Yakface."
I've not met Yakface. I need to meet Sean.
Yeah, he'd also got patches which were specific, had got the Echo Live logo woven into them as well.
Oh, nice.
So embroidered patches, which are really nice. The one that he was setting as a bit of a challenge for people to keep pristine was paper cups.
Yeah.
With Yakface printed on the side. So you were getting a lot of extra swag for your autograph minis. And if you want to find out a bit more about Sean and some other little things that went on during the day, we've got a review up on fanthatracks.com, and we've also got a guest piece written by one of the other guests who was at the show, friend of the show, Marsha Parkins, the Topps official Star Wars trading card artist, who was there again meeting fans, chatting to people. They've got various bits of exclusive swag and artwork for sale, and one of the things that she's done for the last couple of Echo shows now is she picks one of the guests that's appearing there on the day. So she's done show prior to this, she picked Mike Quinn, did a 9-num sketch card. This one she did Yakface Sean, and so she does the sketch card during the day, gets the actor to sign it, and then that goes into what many people consider to be one of the highlights of the Echo show, which is the charity raffle.
Nice.
Which happens towards the sort of middle end of the afternoon, and there is all sorts of wonderful prizes up for grabs, from signed sketch cards, so that that's a one-of-a-kind piece of artwork. And when you consider the Star Wars Topps trading cards, you're talking about an original sketch artwork here that could be 200-300 quid.
Yeah.
Then to have it signed by the actor, it is truly a one-of-a-kind piece. So you can win things like that. Oh, what else was there? There was a whole load of stuff that I donated, various books. There was graded vintage figures. You name it. If it had got Star Wars on it, I think Marsha had put in a prize bag of Vader-related stuff.
Oh.
Which was a mystery bag, so I don't know. I myself won the not suitable for children Cards Against Star Wars game.
Yes.
Yes, so that will be accompanying me to events herein for much mirth and merriment, probably towards the end of evenings. But yeah, it's a really, really fun show. The team behind it, much as I hate to just single out a couple of them, but the main two guys that I normally speak to, Wayne Totty and Adam Pemberton, I know there's a whole host of other people that do a hell of a lot to make that show run and make it as much fun as it is, and raise a lot of money for charity. I think the charity raffle this year was somewhere in the region of 1,500 quid.
Nice.
And it's all the prizes are donated by members of the Echo team, the traders that are there, various people, and it is really, really good. And it's nice to, much as you see fandom battered at times for the negativity and stuff, things like that really sort of put it back on the map as being fun and all about
bunch.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans are a good bunch.
Yeah. I nearly forgot one of the other things. There were quite a few photo ops.
Yeah, cool.
So there was 3PO's throne with a couple of Ewoks. Obviously deliberately put there for yourself, Greg.
Yeah.
There was a stunning life-ish sized land speeder, complete with 3PO, R2, and Gonky Power Droid.
Hey!
With a big Tatooine backdrop as well. Bearing in mind this is all happening inside a sort of regular shopping centre, so it freaks people out who are just generally there for Saturday shopping. And there were some guys and gals from the Essex cosplayers who were obviously costuming as various characters. Particularly good Sabine. I think Steve was the main guy that I spoke to, who had got a cracking TIE pilot costume.
Nice.
Which is one of my favourite troop type costumes. There was a Imperial Royal Guard, and I think possibly pick of the bunch, and definitely a big hit from the both attendees and just kids who happened to be wandering around the shopping centre, was a Mandalorian.
Oh, nice.
Full on shiny Beskar armoured, and that was a stunning costume. And Adam, one of the Echo members, he's a big IG-88 fan, and during lockdown 1, as we now lovingly refer to it, he 3D printed a life-size IG-11 stroke 88. So that was as you went in to the show, which was, it's hosted in parts of the shopping centre that aren't currently used. So this time it was in what was the old Next clothing retail store. So it's an empty shop unit, but quite a big shop unit. And just as you went in, he'd got this life-size IG with a little satchel with a little Grogu in it.
Yay!
So pretty soon they twigged that if they stuck their stunningly costumed Mandalorian with that, then that was the big pull for people wanting to get pics with, certainly the kids wanting to get pics with Baby Yoda and IG and the Mando. So a lot of happy smiling faces. Nice to see lots of people that we haven't seen for a good while, other than via video calls, and lots of people spending lots and lots and lots of money. In some cases, as vintage collectors will know, so the prices for some of those can be quite eye-watering.
Yes, absolutely. I seem to be down to my last 7 or 8 figures I need to get, but they're all expensive ones. So
yes, yeah. So nice to be back out at shows. Nice to be back out seeing people, and I think the next one, there's a comic show upcoming sometime in September in Coventry.
Yeah, heading down for that.
And I think Nick Brokenshire is one of the guests, and I think on the Sunday there is a panel, a Star Wars writers and comics panel. So fingers crossed. I think there's a few of us heading over for that.
Oh, that'll be good. And near me, I think there's a toy fair coming up in October, which I'm going to probably head along to try and find some vintage bargains. Yeah. Very hard to find vintage bargains these days. But, another one I'm hoping to go to is London Film and Comic Con.
Yes.
Which has got quite a nice list of Star Wars guests now.
It has.
Just going to shout out a few of them. Fiona Shaw, who is coming up in Andor. She's going to be in the Andor series. Ming-Na Wen, Brian Blessed, Julius LaFleur, Valine Kane, Bowen, Dolly Godson, Daniel Naprus. I don't know if that's pronouncing his name correctly. Apologies if I haven't. Natalie Tena, Riz Ahmed. It's just awesome. Ray Hassett, Guy Henry, friend of the show, Guy Henry.
Yes.
Mark Boone Jr., Angus Wright, Quentin Pierre, Mandeep Dillon, Joe Gibson, haven't I? Richard Brake from Mando Season 2, outstanding, one of the highlights from that season. He was absolutely incredible in that. And yes, quite a lineup.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to try and get my butt down to that.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that clashes. It's the same weekend as Wales Film and Comic Con, which isn't in Wales. It's actually in Telford.
Again, they've got a cracking lineup as well.
Yeah, they've got some really, really good names for that as well. Not quite sure of the Star Wars guests that they've confirmed at the moment, but certainly last time a few of us made our way over there, I think Mark spoke to Silas Carson. We also spoke to Ahmed Best.
Yeah.
And he was actually made an honorary inductee to the Rebel Legion while we were there. So that was
legend.
That was nice, and he was thoroughly lovely. You'll hear the sting that he recorded for us, spattered through various Bantha Tracks shows. So I think we've got a bit of a juggling act that weekend.
It is the same weekend indeed, and Star Wars wise, there you have Julian Glover, Robert Watts, Brian Herring, Angus McInnes, Dennis Lawson, Garrick Hagan. I think that is the Star Wars lot there. I was just going to mention a couple of signings that are coming up as well for anyone who's a big autograph collector. Our friend Paul Dunn at Elite Autographs has got private signings with Mark Silk from the prequels, episode 1, and friend of the show as well, John Morton, Bespin Boba,
yes,
and Dax,
yes,
and Star Wars Autograph Universe have got an insane amount of people coming up, not just Star Wars wise, but incredible names from Marvel, but Star Wars wise, Diego Luna, Timothy Oliphant, Bill Burr, Terry McGovern, Michael Bell, Keon Young, and Julie Dolan. All with signings coming up with Star Wars Autograph Universe soon. My wallet isn't big enough, unfortunately, for half the names there. But yeah, if you're interested, go and check them out at StarWarsSWAU.com. So that brings us to the end of another show, sir.
It does. Thank you, as always, for listening. That's just to you, not to the audience.
Yeah. There's only me here anyway, isn't there? So.
And don't forget Martin, trying to check out whether we've mentioned him, and Martin's mum.
We have mentioned him twice, and this week we also mentioned Mrs. Keeler.
Yes. So there you go. So her family can listen and realise that she's made it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we filled in. We've got a bumper show there. There's a lot to cover there.
Yes.
And to keep our bumper content going, we've got a double header to take us out of the show. Do you want to introduce the first one? I'll introduce the second.
Certainly. So first in this closing doubleheader is the Moog Orchestra with a rendition of everybody's favourite bar music, the Cantina Band theme. And this was another fruit from our recent Bandcamp expedition. And it is available for the princely sum of absolutely nothing. It's a free download from Bandcamp.
Yeah, go and download.
It's proper vintage. I think it's from around 1977, 78. All obviously played on vintage Moog synthesizers, and it's just brilliant. So go check it out.
Following that up, we have, again, from our recent Bandcamp deep dive, see what we could find for the show, and discovered this awesome band from Warsaw in Poland. The band are called Bantha Rider, which for Bantha Tracks, I think, is a perfect band.
Very, very fitting.
Very fitting. They've got a couple of albums on their site, along with lots and lots of very cool merchandise. Obviously, very focused on the old Tuscan Raiders. Go and check out both the albums. Go and buy some merchandise, support them. It was hard to pick one song by these guys, but we've gone with the track Bunta Eve from Bantha Rider. As I say, go and check them out on Bandcamp and support them. Stunning stuff.
Yeah. And with that, it's a hot dang from me.
And it's a hot dang from him.
Hot dang.
Hey, this is Mark Hamilton from Ash, and you're listening to Desert Planet Discs.
Thanks for listening to Desert Planet Discs. If you want to stay part of the action and up to date on all the latest Star Wars news, check out the Bantha Tracks app via the App Store on your mobile device.
You can contact us via email at radio@banthatracks.com. Comment, like and share on any of our social media feeds at Bantha Tracks, and be sure to subscribe, leave a review, preferably a 5-star one, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your podcatcher or smart speaker of choice.
Don't forget to head to banthatracks.com/radio, home of Bantha Tracks Radio, and follow us on our social media feeds at Bantha Tracks, and bookmark banthatracks.com for all the latest in Star Wars news.